Good morning, YouTube. It is 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas, and the marathon projects continue. I picked this one up out of randomness. I've had this glitter. I know it's going to float to the bottom, but sometimes you get a little bit of those things that float in the resin. I'm going to use some green finer glitter that will actually incorporate the entire epoxy. But I'm going to mix these two together just because, hey, why not? We have it in the garage and we need to do a project this week. So if you guys have been watching the past couple of months, I've been doing the marathon projects. Because I have a work situation, so I am out of the shop when you guys watch this. So 2.5 quart bucket, get everything mixed up. We add the bigger glitter, then come back, add the green glitter, and mix this all about real nice and neat. You can see we go from a clear to like a green. I think I come back and add a little bit more of that green glitter to it just to brighten it up a little bit. I really do wish that all that glitter would actually just stay and float, but it just doesn't. Once you put it in the pressure pot, it kind of just metals to the bottom, but it's gonna look really cool. So 4.5 hours later in the pressure pot, you can see there, boom, everything migrated to the bottom. I'm like, crap. But you get a little bit of floaters that are like kind of in the resin, so it's not all bad. This kind of reminds me of a project I did a couple of summers back, which was the green Slimer bowl. But this one's a little bit different, and like I said, all these projects are always unique. Every single one has its own problems. So we're going to get this on the lathe, get this turned down, and see if we can make a little cool little bowl out of it. So here we go. So, junky piece of pine. Going to go ahead and add that hot glue. Don't be stingy with your hot glue gun. It's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Love hot glue. I don't know why. It's just so fun to play with. But anyway, don't be stingy with it. Make sure to use copious amounts and then come back on the sides. Get everything adhesed nice and neat so that it doesn't come flying off the lathe and hit you in the face. So going to get that all glued up, and then we're going to put the faceplate on there. Boom! There's the faceplate. Get everything screwed down. And the bad thing, I think I ended up cracking the pine board as I usually do in these projects. It's not a good piece of pine. That's why we use it as a waste block or an attachment point. So get everything screwed down nice and tight. Boom, there it is. A little bit of a crack. Come back with the hot glue gun and fix that up real nice and neat. Hot glue will save your life. So you're going to get that spun down. Going to get that attached to the lathe. Clean up the lathe a little bit. Like I said, we've been doing marathon projects, so I haven't cleaned up the shop. So there are shavings everywhere. I finished this back in March, like I said. You guys are probably watching this, I want to say in August or September, more than likely. I don't know, I might switch around the dates a little bit, but basically everything from March to the end of the year is considered part of the marathon project. So if I make reference from that, it's basically me at work, and I haven't been able to get in the shop in a couple of months, so that's what that is. So getting that superficial layer off, everything's going relatively smooth. This project went real easy. I like doing these little bowls. They work out a lot easier. Bad part is I have to take off all this good glitter that's on the bottom of it. So we can't save that, obviously, because we got to get everything nice and even. So we got to get all that turned down and go ahead and remove the tailstock and then make everything nice and flush. Obviously there you get a little bit of glitter left. So bam, once we got that done, now we're just going to come back, hit it with that parting tool, and then we're just going to make the mortise for the bottom of it. Unfortunately, at this point, most of that cool glitter is going to be gone, so you won't get a whole lot of that. But you get a little bit of it toward the end, and we'll go over that here in just a little bit. So now we're just sizing up the chuck, coming back, making it a little bit larger so we can go ahead and make that fit. And then I think I went back 3 times. I ended up making the mortise a lot bigger from what I can remember. Got a lot of movement in the back. But once we made the mortise the size we want, then we just come back, take that face plate off, and then we'll get it reversed in the chuck and go ahead and start turning it down. And that's what it looks like. You get a little bit of that glitter on the bottom. So got it reversed in the chuck. Now we're just getting that waste block taken off using the large using the large parting, not the large parting. It's 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm doing this commentary, by the way. So using the large bowl gouge and then coming back, reversing it, and then hitting it with the large round carbide tool. And then we're going to hit it with the square carbide tool right there. Bam. Getting that waste block nice and taken off, and now everything is nice, neat, and flush. And then we can get everything evened up so we can start our actual gouging portion, which doesn't take very long on these smaller projects. That's kind of why we're doing them, because we haven't had a lot of time to do bigger projects. So working from the outside, working our way into the bowl, getting really good shavings off. You can see there, they're just coming off, spider webs, boom. You can see just the accumulation of shavings, which is always a good thing. Makes the project a lot easier that way. And now we're just getting to a depth that we want, and then coming back and making sure that we're working the side lip of the bowl, getting it to a nice thickness that we like. And this one went really smooth. You can see how easy that we're just working through the material. It's just like cutting through like butter, and then working our way from the inside out, and then just taking the round carbide tool and just working the lip of the bowl, getting it to a nice thickness that we like, so we can start the actual sanding portion, which is my favorite part. You guys know I love sanding. I hate sanding. Nobody loves sanding. So just basically working the edge work, again, getting a feel for the bowl, and by this time I'm pretty happy with it. Now we're just coming back and cleaning it up a little bit with a little bit of a finer detail, get everything nice and flush. This is where you just really take your time, do a lot of delicate work, small, simple side strokes, nothing too aggressive with the chisels, because you don't want to punch through the actual mortise itself. So once we did that, get another feel for it, and by this time I'm pretty happy. And like I said, this is the marathon project, so look at all these shavings all over the workbench, and this is shavings from everything from March up until when you guys are watching this now. Did all of these projects like basically within 2 weeks. And if you know anything about working with shavings and epoxy, it takes forever to clean up, so we don't have time to do that. So I've just been accumulating epoxy shavings all over the garage. So boom, there it is. Clean up the workbench just a little bit, throw everything on the floor, and now we're going to just do sanding, going from 320, 340 all the way up to 1500. And then we're going to make our money with the actual wet sanding here in just a little bit. That's where you get everything nice and polished, going through all the micro meshes. Boom, there it is. You can see that green color. It really does remind me of the Slimer bowl that I made a couple of, like, I want to say a year and a half ago maybe. But really cool project, not a whole lot of issues with this one. You get a little bit of detail with the glitter in there, as you can see. Obviously not as much as we would like, but that's kind of just the nature of the beast. You know, it doesn't always work out, but these smaller little projects, I really like doing them. You know, these are all like fingerprints. It's kind of the same, but everything is a little bit different every time that you do them. So I really appreciate everybody watching, supporting the channel. Obviously, you guys are probably watching this at the end of August, the beginning of September. Hopefully I'll be home soon so I can get back and do some other projects, but probably not until November, December, maybe. We'll see how work turns out. But there it is, finished project. You can see the glitter in there really shines and sparkles. It gives you that green, and there's a little bit of some of that larger glitter. So hope you liked it, hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next project. Alright guys, peace. Alright, so project is done, and if you've noticed, my beard is gone. Work thing. I look totally different without a beard. I don't like it. Anyway, look at this little guy. So, project finished, done. Neon bowl with a little bit of sparkles in the bottom. Obviously, I really love this color. It reminds me of a project I did maybe a year ago. I think I called that the Slimer bowl. This one is more of a green, oozy, neon green kind of color. Really liked how this turned out. You can really see the glitter in that. Looks really cool. So the marathon continues, obviously. This, I don't know what number project this is. Today is, I think, March 21st. So I have a surprise extension for how much longer I'm going to have here before I have to go. So you guys are probably watching this in late August, September, somewhere around there. Hopefully you guys are having a great time watching these marathon videos. So garage is still a mess. We're still working on it. So hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe there at the bottom, or maybe it's over here. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next project. Marathon continues. Peace.